of Gales in Forties, Cromarty, Fitzroy, Seoul, Lundy, Fastnet, Irish Sea, Shannon, Rockall, Malin, Hebrides, Bailey, Fair Isle, Faroes, and South East Iceland.
Hi Guy, how are you doing?
Hi.
Recently, I started reading this book. It's called Watching the English and the Hidden Rules of English Behavior by author called Kate Fox. And for me, this book is really interesting because it's the second year living in UK, and okay, I can communicate with people, but sometimes it's just kind of like a secret codes and secret rules how you can speak with some nations. So certain stuff you can say and certain stuff you can't say, and not to be rude. And be rude is really big here. I will tell you guys. So one thing I want to talk to you, and it's a.
You mean it's a big thing? It's easy to be rude.
It is really easy to be rude. For me, especially, I don't think I'm rude, but English people think I'm rude. So I want to clear this.
Only sometimes. I think you're rude. Yeah, that's because I know you.
Shut up.
See, evidence.
This book is kind of gave me some ideas. And one of the ideas is the secret codes of speaking, and I'm calling it how to keep conversation with British people. And the first topic is the weather, or just the weather. How do you say it? Weather.
The weather.
The weather. If you came to UK and you been here for a while, you notice that a lot of people talk about the weather, and. Like
Do we really? Is that really true? Because that's a stereotype.
So this is a stereotype.
That's a stereotype of English people. But is that true in your experience?
I think it is quite true, because the weather I found, in my opinion, is a kind of like, if you, especially I'm working in a cafe and people just like, oh, this is nice weather. It's kind of like a keep up conversation point. Nobody cares about weather, but I think weather is good for...
We care, baby.
Okay, see? This is a British person saying care about weather. And anyway, I think it's a good thing if you don't know a person, but you kind of like break the ice.
Yeah.
You can talk about weather. And sometimes I also had these situations when you're walking on the street and a person coming to you, and it's a like nice old lady. She's smiling to you, you're smiling to her, and she said, "Oh, isn't it lovely?" And it's kind of like not saying, oh, hello or something. It's kind of like a good thing to...
Yeah, it's a good way of making small talk.
Small talk, yeah.
So for the greetings, it's something you can say to someone you don't know, as Nastya said.
Yeah.
You wouldn't say to someone you met on the street, oh, what's your name? It's a bit weird. Just straight away. But you might
how
say,
are you doing?
Yeah. But you might say about the weather, because it's a nice neutral topic. I think that's the good thing about it, it's neutral.
It's really neutral, yeah.
You don't go up to someone and say, what religion are you?
What
political party do you support?
Yeah. But whether
How's your love life?
Yeah, how's your love life? But with weather, you can always find similar points and kind of start to be more friendly with each other. I think so, yeah. But what I also find out, which I didn't really know, this is really important, guys. You have to agree. And if you say, no, that's quite cold, immediately, this is really rude, and you kind of like...
It's not really rude. That's an exaggeration. But it does seem a bit rude if I say to you, oh, isn't it nice? And you say, no.
I wouldn't say no, but for you, for example...
That's what you said, your example. Okay. If you don't agree...
It's not... But I don't know, for example, if you say, oh, that's quite cold, but for me, I'm like, oh, I like cold, it's hot for me.
Is that because you're from Siberia?
So annoying. We'll come back to that in a minute. Anyway. So, you kind of... The rule is kind of like agree, but if you don't agree, if you disagree with this, but say it in a nice way, say yes.
Always agree.
No, you can say yes, it's nice, but I prefer a little bit cooler, for example, or it's cold. Yes, it's cold, but I feel it's really nice for my bones. If you're old person, I don't know.
Who feels cold is nice for their bones?
I don't know.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I understand.
Sometimes people feel like, oh, the weather is changing.
Okay.
So this is let's think. First point. Weather is a good thing to start conversation with people. You can say, if you don't know person, if you want to break the ice, you can say, oh, this nice sun, it's really sunny.
Or you can say it's horrible. If it's raining, you say, oh, it's miserable,
horrible,
isn't
yeah.
it?
And if somebody told you that's something about weather, you kind of like, please agree. But if you disagree, agree, say yes, it's horrible, but I think it's good for my health or something, or some kind of agree and plus disagree, but do it nicely. So in that way you wouldn't be an enemy. Another thing, the weather. Yes, the level of the weather. It's if you met a person, or is your friend, or even you have conversation, you kind of run out of topics and you don't know what to say, the weather will say.
When we talk about the weather, we normally just say it is. Oh, it's lovely. Oh, it's horrible. It's warm, isn't it? Oh, it's chilly, isn't it? Like that. And then you must always agree. Always. I'm not joking.
If you not agree, you're just being rude, and everyone will be ignoring you, and you'll be just like
that happens to you,
crying in a corner, in a dark corner, and everyone be just like enemies forever.
Must be horrible for you, because that's what your experience, isn't it?
Just had a little in UK, sometimes on the radio you can hear the weather forecast, but it's not really usual. It's really unusual.
You're talking about the shipping forecast.
Shipping forecast.
So it's not the normal weather forecast. It's for ships.
And everyone listening it, nobody understands what's going on, because the name's there. If you
My dad understands.
Your dad is a sailor, so he understands, of
He's
course.
friends with my dad.
Yeah, that is great. But you don't understand. I don't understand.
But the reason it's people don't understand it is because it's like a code. Firstly, you get these strange place names like Dogger and German Bight, but these are places. Sometimes they're lighthouses, but they're landmarks for people at sea. And the other reason is they have a code like fair, good, moderate to fair, moderate or good, storms.
Yeah.
And that's like a code which you can look up, and so it means something to you if you're a sailor.
But if you're not sailor, and like, how many sailors? Not a lot.
But a lot of people listen to it because it's on Radio 4, which is a very popular radio station in England, which is just speaking. It's no music. There's sometimes occasionally music, but it's generally just speaking.
Yeah. And
it's a British institution.
If you listen in the shipping forecast, it's making you more kind of like it's a comforting. It's like a nice cup of tea.
It is quite comforting for me, I must say. Something about it.
Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and basically tell me in the comments if you want to know more about English rules of speaking and behavior. And I'm really interested in it because I'm living in UK and it's quite useful.
Don't forget to subscribe.
Yay! Bye!
Becoming moderate or poor later. 40s, Cromarty, 4th, Tyne, Dogger. South, 5 to 7, increasing gale 8 for a time in 40s and Cromarty. Rain at times, moderate or good, occasionally poor.